Eyes for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatem, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Da is for Deen, al-Islam, religion with Allah since time began. That is for dhikr, remembering Allah, and Ra is for the month of Ramadan. Began, that is for dhikr, remembering Allah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. As always, it's another package of the most informative and responsive television program on Zakat related matters, Paths to Paradise. We are always glad to know that you are always with us on this journey to make the world a better place for those in their need and the less privileged in the society.
As always, this program is to showcase how your divine contributions are being used to cater for the indigents as well as those in their need in society, who are yet, as well as those who are yet to understand the importance of paying zakat as an injunction from Allah. Please stay tuned as we take you on this journey to Path to Paradise. My name is Misbaudin Ismail.
And I'm Maruf Ahmad.
The lecture segment is next.
Began, that is for dhikr, remembering Allah.
Alhamdulillahi ala ni'mati al-Islam. Alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. Wassalatu wassalam ala rasulil anam Muhammad bin Abdullah. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi shumusi duja. Wa ala sahbihi al-kiram. Wa ala kulli man tabi'ata yawmiddin. Ba'du fassalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Respected and beloved viewers, today inshallah we are talking about zakat and education of the orphans and vulnerable children. As we all know that Islam is not a religion of theory, it is a religion that addresses things practically, not just practically, even pragmatically. So, but today in the world, what we have as a problem is Muslims who claim Islam and don't act Islam. Unfortunately, most people read Islam through the Muslims. And here are the Muslims who fail in some instances to show the beauty of Islam. That is why moments like this, an enlightenment, where we'll have access to the real Islamic orientation and how it's supposed to be. Looking at zakat in Islam, which of course is a whole pillar. So when you ask any Muslim in the world, that's one of the beauties of Islam is that some things in Islam are global, they are universal. That anywhere you go in the world, you ask any Muslim, there will be no confusion. One of them is pillars of Islam. In the whole world, I'm not too sure any religion has what is as global as that. You ask the primary school child, the nursery school child, the university, the professor, the tell Islam pillar, the pillars are how many? There are 5. After this pillar now, one of them is what? Zakat. And zakat specifically is a welfare institution. It's a welfare institution which Allah puts in place. Allah is the Al-Ghani, He is self-sufficient. He provides wealth. He is Ar-Razak, one that provides for people. But still, He puts in place an institution which He now puts in place what is to do. Talk about for example, the beneficiaries, who are 8. Under the 8 beneficiaries now, the Fuqara, the Masakin, the Abun Alayha, those who are the poor, those who are the needy, those who are the wayfarer, those who are fisabilillah, every welfare project, program can be outlined under them. You know, even those who are displaced, the IDPs, you have a place you put them. The orphans, you have a place you put them. The vulnerable children, you have a place you put them. The widows, you have a place you put them. You know, all these things, Islam has outlined them. so that we will not neglect anyone. That is why even the zakat, there's a fraction for each of these beneficiary. The fuqara was the fraction they are entitled to, the masakin was the entitlement, and so on and so forth. So the zakat, as we see it, is an institution in Islam that is handling issue of welfareism. And when you now look at the beneficiaries in Quran chapter 9 verse 60, Allah mentioned 8 of them. Out of these very 8, the orphans could come under fuqara. The vulnerable children could come under fuqara or even fi sabilillah, depending on how we look at it. This is to let us know that the masariful zakat is areas by which to distribute zakat must consciously make provision for those vulnerable children, because zakat is welfare, and welfare is about ameliorating the plight of people, alleviating their poverty level. And these are people, the orphans, vulnerable ones, those in rehab centers, those whose parents are dying due to illness, chronic one, those who are suffering one thing or the other, those who are suffering from domestic violence and the likes. Zakat is meant to come on board, to come and assist such children. And the best assistance zakat can provide is to give them proper education. And this education, as we know as Muslims, is for us to know that the children in Islam are special gifts. In fact, Islam so much talks about raising of children from when they are young infants, children and the like, because they are hopes of every society. In fact, Yawm al-Qiyamah, children will have special place, they will praise their parents. Islam tells us that on Judgment Day, for parents who are there, for example, there will be some mountains that are very high in the hereafter. And the parents will now see these mountains, where even the children are still alive. They will now realize that, what is this mountain for? Allah will tell the parents that this mountain are they seeking for forgiveness of your child on you, to show that children have roles to play on such people. And looking beside that again, when Prophet said that when somebody dies, all his days stop. You mentioned that except 3. One is waladun salihun yad'u lahu. Righteous child praying for the parent. To be righteous, you must have been what? You must have been what? Trained. You must have been trained. If you are not trained, you can't be righteous. So when that's one, in this very world, the children will mean well for their children. When the parents are no more, they have roles over them. So zakat as an institution, we make children discover themselves. We assist them in any way for which they can become useful to the society. Now, looking at very one, we saw how Khidr and Musa were able to protect a treasure meant for orphans in Surah Al-Kahf. It was a treasure of wealth. Children were young that time, but one of the projects then was what? To protect that very treasure, to protect it. So zakat as an institution must be out to protect treasures for children where we have such cases. We have, for example, some parents have some plans on their children, either through waqfu or through zakat and the likes. Then zakat institution can assist them to protect it very well. Then is zakat as an institution can mobilize what we call infaqul af. That is, zakat can mobilize things, items like clothes, like anything that people feel they are not in need, can mobilize it for people of this kind, the vulnerable children. Give them to use. If you know the centers they say, you can just mobilize this thing. Is it clothes? Is it furniture? Is it household materials? There are some homes that are actually in need. So zakat will mobilize such things for such homes. Maybe they are orphans or they are abandoned children, whatever form, mobilize for them, and that will assist them to live a better life, to have a right to better education. That one too is a thing zakat can do to promote their learning. Besides that also, zakat as an organization can as well get people who will shoulder helping these very young ones or orphans by way of maybe the parents die. You can identify those, some people pay zakat really. You can identify such people, connect them, discuss with them, okay, so person is in school, is not out of school, apart from providing a box where people can contribute to kind of a education endowment, such person can take up just kind of task individually, whereby they will sponsor such children in their education, secondary school or university level. Is a role they can play. Zakat can help identify such people who will wear the orphans or the kind of a vulnerable children to move on like that. That is one thing Zakat can equally do. Besides that, also it can promote education of these vulnerable children by equally establishing schools. Can have Zakat schools. Is a feasible project, because you may not school, even the teaching of the children requires a kind of emotional angle. If they have a special school for people like that, it will have a kind of curriculum that will take care of their psychology, unlike just throwing them to other schools where they don't even know where they are coming from. So in such a special schools, the can have established such schools that will be for such children who will come there. They will be free for them. Beside that very one, they will train them to be to feed, to be part of life, and not to regret that they are not having parents or they've been abandoned. That is an area too that can be of assistance in promoting education of the vulnerable children. Beside that, Zakat can as well have rehabilitation centers, whereby some children who have suffered in a kind of a violence, or they've become abused, or they become substance user, or in whatever form that it has affected them emotionally, psychologically, they are now going to depression, they are going to drugs. Such centers could be there to assist these children to get over themselves. This is a center whereby specialists like psychiatrists, like social workers, like doctors, whatever, they will be there to assist the children. The Zakat institution can have such places where children identified to belong to the vulnerable group could be brought to that very place, and by so doing, you will have changed their orientation. You will have kind of changed their assisted them in getting over their problem. That's one too, is an area which Zakat can equally assist the children who are vulnerable. Besides that, also Zakat can, as well as one of its educational program, provide training and sourcing, of qualified professionals for these children. Yes, it's necessary that Zakat can have a training, because it's a special training for people to be able to bring our children who are at the ebb of emotional, lockdown or emotional torture, for some people who understand psychology to come on board, to engage these children, to bring out the positive things in them, positive values in them, and raise them up so that society will be able to benefit from such children who can be great leaders for the future. That angle too, Zakat can be of a great assistance in raising their emotional level to be part of society and move them ahead. That area too, Zakat can be of great help in assisting them. Besides that very one too, Zakat institution can as well have competitions whereby specifically, or a kind of that is meant for such children of that level, they can be, there could be a competition for them whereby they will participate. It will raise their morale, and when they come and they win, they are given special reward, special award. They are promoted. There's a kind of the media will carry them, and they will feel happy, be part of those who have been able to achieve in society. That kind of program can come that will make them to be part of societies. That's an area too that we can equally have Zakat as functioning very well. So Zakat institution has a lot of role to play, apart from just sharing, distributing money or properties or items like that. The role on building the mind of these vulnerable children is an area Zakat has to give attention. Inshallah, this is just the first part. In our second episode of this, we shall talk about the remaining aspects by which Zakat can be of great assistance in moving the children out of ignorance to a level of education and enlightenment. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Began, that is for dhikr, remembering Allah.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. The rate of unemployment in Nigeria is not just alarming but scary. To salvage the situation, our organization, Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation, recently trained 100 up-and-coming business owners with the aim of empowering them.
Today, 20 of those 100 that were trained have been shortlisted for a possible grant of over 10 million naira.
Allahu Akbar.
Please don't go away.
Began, that is for dhikr, remembering Allah.
Any organization that is alive to its responsibilities and standing true by its mission statement is one that deserves the commendation and support of all and sundry in its quest to break barriers and set new standards in administrative excellence. Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation remains steadfast in its efforts to eradicate poverty through its strategic poverty alleviation schemes and empowerment programs. One of those programs is the Business Plan Competition for its Entrepreneurship Development Project to empower people with great viable ideas and for existing businesses to thrive, leading to more job opportunities for the unemployed. From the first edition till date, the foundation has disbursed a total amount of 58,350,000 naira to 120 beneficiaries drawn from different parts of the country. The beneficiaries cut across different business ideas crucial to the growth of the economy.
Solar beads and plastics, we produce personal ornaments and home decoration items from beads and recycled plastics.
I've been doing it for more than 3 years. I started in 2017 in the corner of my room. So in 2019, we got an equity-free grant from Startup Nigeria for 1.2 million naira. That was the money we used to establish ourselves, to have a small outlet in Ilorin, and that's how we've been trying to.
Nuhu, Issa and Wasiu Aminat are from Kwara State. They're exploring the fashion world and need a boost to their businesses. This they sought from Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation and emerged successful.
Into fashion business, fashion services, Ashwebi, ready to wear. We also have a fashion academy in Ilorin. And what we tried to do was to change the narrative of people thinking that tailors are the best disappointment of their customers. So trying to come in like, fine, we can be up to date and give you the prompt delivery services. And we also try to like change the traditional way of training students, whereby we try to inculcate entrepreneurship skills to the fashion training skills. So after spending 3 months under our tutelage, we try to give them another 2 months entrepreneurship skills, whereby they can be able to manage their businesses, and we give other services in the fashion businesses.
We observe that there are no really personal ornaments that are made from local material around, except from the luxuries one. Meanwhile, Nigeria contributes to about 0.34 tons of plastic waste to the marine habitat. At Ointola Beads and Plastic, we set out to provide locally made personal ornaments and decoration items made from beads and recycled plastic, compared to the luxury materials like gold, silver, and diamond. And then we are good at what we do because our product designs are not encountered frequently. We are unique at that because our products are not normally found everywhere around due to the uniqueness.
Madam Wasiu Aminat from Ilorin South. I think I've seen 2 Ilorin South here. He actually competed very well. She competed very well. She presented craft and beauty ornaments that could be made from waste, and she brought samples. Some of our panelists even had to buy from her. So she did so well. You can see, let me see. This is a sample of what she's doing. You can see. She's craft personified. Thank you very much. So, like I said, the mark between her and the person in front of her is just 2 marks. So, to me, she's a winner. She's a winner. But alhamdulillah, she honored our invitation and she will be honored by Allah and by the prize we are giving her today.
Alhamdulillah,
Joining has been very tedious and rigorous because out of 400 application, I was happy to be one of the only shortlisted at the first space. So after the mentoring section and the training, I was opportunity to be among the 20 shortlisted as well, which I would say alhamdulillah to that. It has been a wonderful journey so far. Alhamdulillah today I'm part of the runner-up winner of the program. Thanks to Zakat and Sadaqat for this organization. I won 20,000 naira, which is, alhamdulillah. So I have a business already, I have an outlet, I have a machines. So this money will be used to get some of the equipment that will augment the one we have on ground, so as to upscale our production and do much more things we are doing for our customers out there. So I would say Jazakumullah khairan to Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation for this initiative. I would say this is the first time I will be seeing an Islamic organization organizing such a well-structured entrepreneurs program. It has been a wonderful journey so far. I've learned a lot of lessons during the whole process of this program. I've met people who are like extending our relationship, and I will tell people who have not been paying zakat to please, for goodness sake, start paying zakat and sadaqat, and they can pay this kind of money to this organization who are already using the money to do some other things to people out there.
I feel so elated. I feel honored. Any words to describe being excited. The journey, it hasn't been an easy one, to be truthful, but with Almighty Allah's help and guidance, it's easy. It is easy on one part with Almighty Allah's guidance. So from the first stage to the second stage, through the screen and everything that I've made it through the stage, I give thanks to Almighty Allah. Firstly, I want to build a working space, like get a shop to start where I can buy materials and sell, produce the material, because I do it handcraftedly. I made it myself. So I plan to use the money to purchase material, get a store to showcase what I'm doing, and then get more staff to do the work whom I'm going to be paying. Firstly, I would like to say Jazakumullah khairan to Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation for giving me this opportunity to express what I'm capable of doing, and by giving me the opportunity, the benefit of that I can move forward. And I also want to implore those who have the capacity to pay zakat to please do, because it is Allah's injunction. And I also want to implore myself and every other person that are not capable yet, but should have it at the back of the mind that when I have the capacity to do that, I should do it, because it is one of the pillars of Islam that must be done in order to attain Allah's rahmah on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. The Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation is the right place to pay your zakat to, because those are the ones who will use the money judiciously as according to Allah's injunction. You cannot pay to any non-formal organization that will not use the money as it is supposed to be used, because all this program organized for us are not, apart from the money, the training, everything given to us is worth it. And if not for people paying the zakat, where will they get the money? Or if not for the sponsors, where will they get the money to push us that doesn't have hands forward? So I implore people to pay their zakat to Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation. And also, if you are not even if you are not up to, or you don't have the capacity to pay zakat, then you can also do sadaqah. Like you can pay the minimum amount to help to run the cause forward.
It was keenly contested, and during the ranking, we had situations whereby even the people that won among the 20, you had people that had 0.1, 0.2 points just below them, almost like 30, 40. So, but once you have set a criteria to be, just stick to that criteria and you cut it off, because this is a competition that has a budget. So we would have loved to bring in 100, 150, 200 people from the 400, but we're also limited by the budget that is available.
It's been a very rewarding project in the sense that we get to give back to the society in our own little way. and also to be able to help other people as well in order to get to wherever it is they're going financially and in other aspects as well. The job to do this kind of initiative, because as we all know the country we are in, there's always a case of corruption here and there, but for the past 6 editions this has been done, that has never come up, and that's a plus to them on their side. And I think there's no other organization that's done something on this level this consistently. Yeah. The only advice I have for them is to use judicious good of the money, which has been elaborated from the sponsors and also their panelists as well, and just basically try to pay it forward when it comes time for them to do it for someone else as well.
According to the man pilot in the affairs of the foundation making lives better for all, with Zakat and Sadaqah received in trust and disbursed in line with the injunctions of Almighty Allah, Prince Sulaiman Olagunju says his joy knows no bound for the remarkable successes recorded in this year's business plan competition.
I'm so happy because if you look at our society today, the jobs are not there. We just have to create jobs. I mean, all these youths, if this opportunity is not given, they will just be roaming about the job that is not even there in the first instance. So be part of those who are creating job opportunities for the youths. I'm so much excited, and I pray we will continue in this direction to see that our youth are gainfully employed, use their talents instead of just roaming about the street and causing problems in the society. From the foundation, we do a lot of support. We are very passionate about empowerment. Apart from this that we do, we usually have a program like this for artisans who cannot actually write. So we have a program for them. We call it Artisan Business Planning Competition, where the artisans are supported, some 50,000, 30,000, depending on their need. We usually have educational support to indigents and the vulnerable children outside there that will not be able to support their education. So we are doing that to support our educational system as well. Not only these widows, they take priorities in our support program. Usually what we do to the widows is to first of all, we give them what we call mentorship. After the demise of the husband, what do you need to do? So we do counseling for them, then identify what they can do. Those of them that can be engaged through artisan support, so we will support them after the demise of the husband. So we try to reintegrate them back into the society. So that's what we do as well. Orphans are not left out. We have a whole department for orphans. So we send orphans to school and we are paying their school fees. So these are the kind of things that we do in society. And this can be only possible if people support us. So we sincerely solicit for the support of our brothers and sisters outside there, our fathers that are well-to-do. They should bring their support so that it can actually reach those that are matters in the society, so that we can collaborate, we can work together and fight poverty together. It cannot be done by one person or by one organization, even by government alone.
The impact of Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation in the lives of many is immeasurable, and the foundation is unrelenting in its drive at making the world a better place. This year's achievement is a tip of the iceberg in its roadmap plan to eradicate poverty. They appeal to all those capable of paying zakat to do so through the foundation for the actualization of its numerous projects and programs.
Began, that is for dhikr, remembering Allah.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. The rate of unemployment in Nigeria is not just alarming but scary. To salvage the situation, our organization, Zakat and Sadaqat Foundation, recently trained 100 up-and-coming business owners with the aim of empowering them.
Today, 20 of those 100 that were trained have been shortlisted for a possible grant of over 10 million naira.
Allahu Akbar.
Please don't go away.
Began, that is for dhikr, remembering Allah.